auntie. They don't even know. Auntie is good. Auntie is good. I have embraced auntie. I am not with this older generation talking about don't call me auntie. I ain't nobody's auntie. I actually have nieces and nephews.
Hey guys, it's your favorite auntie. Everything in this video is alleged, it is in my opinion, and it is for entertainment purposes only. So choosing low functioning women, that is what Dr. Bryant told Nick Cannon on his podcast, Counsel Culture. If you don't know who Dr. Bryant is, let me tell you who she is. She is a psychology expert, life coach, and producer, and you may have seen her on Basketball Wives this season. And when I tell you she left my mouth open, I think she left Nick Cannon stuttering and hella uncomfortable. Let's get into it. Low functioning women, what is it? High functioning women, what is it? I'm gonna play the clip real quick of what Dr. Bryant said to Nick Cannon.
I've been manipulative and prey on certain things just because I'm a man.
Right.
And
but not all men do that. We don't want to blanket all men.
And I was taking advantage.
All men do not prey and manipulate. Not all men.
First of all humans prey and manipulate, but in a man in a relationship,
not in a praying way.
If I see that I can say, okay, I feel like I need this and this person has this, I'm gonna do and say whatever I need to do to get that.
But Nick.
So therefore,
with all due respect, seriously, to all the women that you've encountered, ladies, I'm saying this. The reason why it's worked for you is because you have chosen and to prey on low functioning women who don't have the emotional intelligence. No, I'm going there. Who will allow you to do that, Nick? And when I say allow, it's not a control thing. When I say allow, I'm not saying that she sits across you and says, this is what you won't do. You're crossing a boundary. Nick.
I disagree.
Of course he disagreed. He does not want to face the reality of the fact that all these women that he has chosen are low functioning women. Now, I will say, with the exception of Mariah Carey and Lanisha Cole, shout out to the Shade Room for the family tree. Gets me every time. But it is super helpful because make this make sense, Nick. When we're talking about a low functioning woman, she said that women that allow men to prey upon them. And she didn't mean like allow, and she talked about, she doesn't mean allow like they said, okay, I'm gonna let you do X, Y, and Z. But it was, he specifically chose women that would allow him to have the behavior that he has had with all of these different women, which is, we're not going to be committed. I'm going to give you children. I'm going to provide for you financially. In return, you have to pledge your loyalty to me, can't date outside of me, and you have to be okay with the fact that I'm going to procreate with other women and I'm going to take pictures with other women. I'm just going to basically do what I want to do, but I love you. And I'm going to still gaslight you in your Instagram posts, in your comments. And these women have accepted it. Look at who we have here. So we have Abby, who had baby number, what is that? Baby number 6, is it 6, 8, and 11? Hold on, let me see. Okay, so I had to pull up the tree and look at this a little bit closer. So we have Abby, who had baby 5 and 6 and then came back and had 11. Then you have Brittany, who had babies 3 and 4 and then came back number 10. And I'm not just going to solely focus on the women here, but I'm making a point. So when he disagreed and was letting Dr. Bryant know, no, I don't think that that's what this is. This is what it is. Look at the proof is in the pudding. The women that you chose were okay with having child number 5 and 6, letting you go have children number 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 with someone else. And then you can come back to this woman and have baby number 11 with her. And then you have another one who's okay with watching you have children, having a child, 1 and 2 with this woman. Then you can have 3 and 4 with this woman, and then another one gives you 5 and 6, and then someone else gives you 7, and then you can come have number 8 with me, and then some other woman you can have 9 with me. It's all dysfunction. It's all low functioning women. That's not normal. And for him to try to normalize it, I think he wanted, I think in that moment it seemed like he wanted her to possibly lay the blame at his feet so that he doesn't make the women in his life look bad, or that she doesn't educate these women and they wake up and decide, like Lanisha did, I'm gonna go find me somebody else. And Mariah Carey, I'm gonna find me somebody else. So he doesn't want to agree with that, because right now I think he still has Abby right where he wants her. He still has Brittany right where he wants her. He still has Bree just head over heels, stupid and in love with him. We can see that from all the videos. Everybody says she must be the favorite, but we all know that actually Mariah is the favorite, the ex-wife, because he said that recently. And then he doesn't, I don't think he posts Alyssa as much, but she's still around too. So he doesn't want them to be educated and them to be uplifted and them to then become a high functioning woman so they can go find them a high functioning man, which we're going to get into that topic as well. So women, this is not just for Nick Cannon and his babies, mamas, and all that. It is also about recognizing what men may be doing to you. The manipulative track. I cannot talk. The manipulative tactics that men will do to you, as well as you recognize it within yourself that I'm operating as a low functioning woman. I'm allowing someone to sell me a dream and they don't have to put in any type of work for it. Or I set standards, but then I allow a man to walk all over those standards because I don't keep those standards up myself. Let me just give you a couple examples. So to me, an example would be like your non-negotiables. So you wanted to wait 3 to 6 months before being intimate with the man, and then you turn around and waited 2 weeks because maybe he became impatient. Does that make you a low functioning woman? No, it might not necessarily make you a low functioning woman, but what it does is it starts to chip away at standards that you have set for yourself, and you start to allow things that you normally wouldn't have allowed. And so now that can potentially lead you down a path to being a low functioning woman. And then a man takes advantage of that when they see that. So another example would be you catch him cheating and you stay, you don't leave. And then he sees, okay, how easy was it for you to forgive him? Was he able to just throw out a couple of apologies? Did he buy you some new shoes? Did he buy you a bag and post you on his Instagram stories? And then you were back in his arms. You don't think he took note of that? Or you moved in with him. Maybe you even bought a house with him and you didn't get a ring in hopes of he's going to get you a ring. You just start allowing things that you normally wouldn't allow. That is how you can be led down a path of being a low functioning woman, being chose by a man as a low functioning woman, because a man can see that, oh, okay, she said this, but she did that. And he just starts taking note, and he just starts taking advantage, and he starts to prey on you for that. Now let's get into this high functioning woman. Let's talk about that, because when Dr. Bryant was on Cam Newton's show, she specifically talked about what a high functioning woman was. And I'm going to play the clip for that.
What identifies a woman to be high functioning?
A high functioning woman is a woman who wants you. She doesn't need you. When I say she doesn't need you, it doesn't mean she's independent. That means she is interdependent. I don't need a trauma bond with you. Okay? She wants the healed part of you, but has the capacity, because we're all human, we ain't perfect, to facilitate and deal with the unhealed part of you that's going to show up in the relationship at some point. And so that's why I always say, I want a hybrid.
And let me just take it a little step further on this. When she talks about a high functioning woman, I also believe a high functioning woman is someone who can recognize when she's met a low functioning man, and she decides to set boundaries with this low functioning man. She lets this man know, hey, listen, here's where I am with my emotional intelligence. I can communicate effectively. I have morals. I have standards. I have values, and I don't compromise on those things. That's a high functioning woman, in my opinion. And when she talks about being interdependent, I think she's talking about being mutually dependent upon each other. It's not where I need you for emotional support and you need me for emotional support, or we can't function in life without each other. It is where I can stand alone, but together we lean on each other. I think that's what she meant when she talked about that. Also, want to speak to what I think that is important for a woman to look for when she's choosing a partner and a spouse. I think it's important if you're going to be this high functioning woman. She talked about you have to love yourself and you have to be healed. You are not trauma bonding with a man. So if he comes to you with baggage, like for example, let's take Nick Cannon and Cam Newton for an example. These men, in my opinion, everything in this video I've said is my opinion, have a lot of unhealed trauma, a lot of baggage. And you can tell by the different homes they keep setting up and leaving broken. So this doesn't suit me, so I leave. This home doesn't suit me, so I leave. And they can do that because they think they're high value men because of the money they have. These are things she talked about in her Funky Friday conversation with Cam Newton and then the council culture conversation with Nick, is that because you have money, you think you're a high value man. So I guess that makes you a high functioning man, but it doesn't. So you're choosing women who are low functioning women, and they see the value in you because really of the money that you're bringing to the table. Now, in the real world, where most of us um, are just dating regular men, and we're not after men with money, you could still be a high functioning woman and choosing a mate to match what you have. It's just about where is he emotionally, are you guys a good fit? And in my opinion, it's about not compromising those standards that I talked about. That's what I believe a high functioning woman is. And I just want to educate people of my thoughts and my opinion about the low functioning woman, the high functioning woman. And I hope that out of this video, what you receive from this is that if you have noticed that you have traits or qualities that are along the lines of a low functioning woman, pivot from those things, get the therapy that you need, and so that you're not being preyed upon by a man and you're in this continuous cycle of not finding what you're looking for, and you're continuously feeling damaged, broken, and like you're not going to find the love of your life because you're picking the wrong people, but really you just haven't showed up as a high functioning woman that you need to be. Hope that all makes sense. You guys drop your opinion down in the comment section, and be sure to like, comment, and share the video.